Hare Krishna. So we have with us His Grace Bhadra Govinda Prabhu, who was in Singapore once upon a time and now he is residing in Vijayawada. So let us understand from him what outreach tools, programs he has used to make so many devotees there. Welcome, Bhadra Govinda Prabhu. Please let us know about your outreach programs.
Hare Krishna, Damodar Dhananjay Prabhu. Speaking about Singapore, initially we did not have any outreach programs as such. All our preachings were happening through direct contacts and through word of mouth. Therefore, we were not growing and were not able to reach many people. Then we were brainstorming how to get more people into our Bhakti Rikshas and Namahattas and expand the preaching program. Then we got these insights from our congregation preaching ministry, how devotees across the world are using various methods to reach out to people out there and bring them into our Bhakti Riksha and Namahatta programs. Then we started to look out also in Singapore. There were a few places where we could enter in. One such program I can think of where we had opportunity to reach most people was this Durga Puja program. The Bangladeshi people and the Bengalis of India, they all joined together. They have a 4-day festival and they have a big Durga Puja pandal there. And 5,000 Hindus population from India and Bangladesh, they congregate in this pandal. Initially we went, we had some opportunity of 5 minutes kirtan on the stage, but there was no impact as such because immediately we get off the stage after kirtan, they will start some Bollywood or Hollywood program, which did not have much impact there. So the Hare Krishna chanting 5 minutes was lost in the commercial platforms. Then what we did is they were getting food for the 5,000 people through caterers from outside caterers. There we saw an opportunity for us to enter. So we volunteered to make food, in our case it is prasadam, for them to cater the food for these 5,000 people every day, and for 4 days it is 20,000 plates of prasadam. We went and discussed with the organizers and we gave a better deal for them. How much they were spending, say for example they are spending say $10 per plate or something, we could do it in $4 or $5, which they got excited. And in our programs some of them had come and taken prasadam and they were happy if we could deliver that in that program. We spoke to our devotees. At time we were not many people, but whoever were there, they were inspired to take up the challenge to cook 5,000 plates of prasadam. So from then onwards, every Durga Puja, our devotees take this project and cook 5,000 plates of prasadam. We offer it to our Gauranitais at our center and then carry it and offer to Durga Mata in the pandal. Then it is distributed among the devotees. And that was a big outreach of at least 5,000 people per day for 4 consecutive days. That's where when they started eating prasadam and then we told them about more programs and people started coming to our programs. That way we expanded into more Namahattas. Pandal, we used to get donors who used to give kind donations like rice, dal, oil, sugar, etc. for our programs of Namahattas, and those donations, kind donations, would suffice for the next 6 months. So that was a good outreach programs which would benefit our preaching. Another outreach program which comes to my mind is all the religious organizations in Singapore, they come together and celebrate Gita Jayanti celebrations. Initially, devotees were not inclined, but Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami Maharaj initiated that we take the lead in this Gita Jayanti celebrations. He was pioneer in doing that outreach program with all the religious organizations, and we continued that good work. And therefore, devotees are present in this interfaith Bhagavad Gita program, where all the Hindu bodies will come under one banner and they chant Hare Krishna. There we got many contacts and devotees who could attend our programs. Otherwise, our direct outreach program as of today, our biggest outreach program as of today in Singapore is the Stadium Rath Yatra. And now devotees, there are a few teams running for these Stadium Rath Yatras, that we have at least 2 Rath Yatras, if not 3, in the stadium, where people up around 3,000 to 4,000 people congregate in the stadium, and it is a good, nice Olympic standard stadium, track and field. We have made a chariot, we take in the track and field, we have permissions. Usually we take a couple of rounds before sunset and a couple of rounds Lord Jagannath on the tracks after sunset with the floodlights on. Like in India, you have a day and night cricket match. Like that, we have a day and night Stadium Rath Yatra in Singapore. And it is done like a carnival. We would invite you to come and see it for yourself. With our experience with the Durga Pandal program, where we cook for 5,000 people a day for 4 consecutive days, and in stadium, cooking for 3,000-4,000 people is not a problem. And prasadam is a full feast. We at least have rice, like pushpana, then 2 or 3 sabjis, then we have a salad, we have a sweet, we have a drink. It's a full meal, not just some dona prasad or something. So it's really opulent prasad for all the attendees in the stadium. And carnival means we get devotees for doing the kirtans from outside Singapore. We invite devotees from Mayapur or devotees from Vrindavan. We bring them in and they do the kirtans. Sometimes devotees come from neighboring countries also. So that is our direct outreach program, is Jagannath Rath Yatra. Now talking about the first 2 were big outreach programs. The Stadium Rath Yatra and Durga Pandal were big outreach programs. But when you talk about effectiveness of programs, the conversion rate of programs, it happened in the dormitory preachings. We used to go to the dormitories. In Singapore, there is a lot of these expat workers who do various kinds of odd labors, welders, fitters, sweepers, cleaners, and all these odd job workers are there. They are most of them from Bangladesh and India. And we get there Telugu, Kannada, Hindi, and then Bengali. Out of that, the Bengali people were more inclined to do sevas. So somehow they got more attracted because they are naturally attracted to Krishna. We started these dormitory programs where 6 workers are placed in one small room with an attached bath. Out of that 6, only 1 may be interested in our ISKCON activities who used to come to our programs. Then we asked him whether we could go into dormitories and do programs there. He said, there is no permission as such. I can invite you as a friend. So we went there. And these devotees, they live with 5 other people who are not interested in Krishna or ISKCON. They are from other religions. They are Islam. They are Christians. They don't want to do any program there. However, he used to take, my friends are coming and they used to go out. The other 5 roommates will go out and the devotee will stay in the room, and he will call those who are interested in the dormitory to do this program. So they used to cooperate by giving the space. They are not interested, but they will leave the room, and those who are interested, they will come. There also we could accommodate only 15 people maximum in the room to do a Bhakti Vriksha style or a Namahatta or this we were calling it as an outreach program, we could only reach out to 15 people. But more people are interested within the same dormitory. Then it was like 30 people are interested, 45 people are interested. Now the numbers were increasing. More and more people want to come and attend this program. Then we spoke to the dormitories to have, when the moment they heard it is a religious program, he said it is not permitted inside the dormitories to do any religious program. So whatever we were doing inside the room also was getting jeopardized to stop. Again, we thought about out of the box, and we found some place nearby in the open fields outside the dormitory which is easily reachable, so they don't have to spend $2 or $3 up and $2 or $3 down for public transport. We found a space right on pavement or in an open field under the sky, under the stars, where we used to put a plastic sheet of paper spread over on the field, and easily we could accommodate 50 to 60 people there. And these dormitories are there in various locations across Singapore. We have in Woodlands, we have in Jurong East, like this, many regions we have these Namahattas. Right now, these outdoor Namahattas, under the sky, under the stars, Namahattas, we have at least 25, where anywhere between 60 to 150 devotees congregate. And recently, last month when I was there, in one Namahatta in Woodlands, there were 75 people, and all 75 of them are chanting at least one mala of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is a really effective outreach in our dormitory programs. And in fact, it so happened one preacher could not reach to 75 people. Outside the dormitory, now there are two Namahattas happening. 75 people, one Namahatta, and 50 people, another Namahatta, about 50 meters away. That means it can happen like more people can come and get accommodated. And now these dormitory programs, people are happy that people who are in drunken brawls, stabbing each other or fighting with each other because after a hard day's work, they didn't know what to do. They used to be after booze and non-veg and this and that. Out of that, people have come up even to initiations level. Last month, we had 40 devotees getting initiations from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. And previous years also, there are many Maharajas who are giving initiations, like Bhakticharu Maharaj has given few devotees initiations. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj also has given many initiations in Singapore. Earlier to this, outreach programs, they were only doing temple program. Singapore has a history. Initially, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj was coming and preaching in Singapore. His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami Maharaj was coming and preaching. Then His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami Maharaj coming. Then who else I can name?
Nobody. Name somebody. Name. Actually name ही नहीं चाहिए.
फिर छोड़ दो उसको, थोड़ा निकालो.
तो निकाल पूरा निकाल चला तो बस है ना.
And
many other Maharajas.
And many Maharajas used to come and give their association and mercy. My third floor. That is okay. Coming to this outreach program, effective outreach program is through this personal care and through the dormitories. Next year, we have a target. We have started a program to train devotees for Brahminical initiation on practical aspects, not the theoretical aspect, like how to do achaman, how to apply tilak, how to wear a dhoti, how to keep cleanliness, how to do archana vidhi, deity worship, and even how to do yagyas. Right now, we have enrolled 25 people, and they have a program on Sunday evening, 2 hours. Over the next 1 year, like 50 weeks, they will be trained. And we expect out of these 25 people, we will have at least anywhere minimum 5 to a maximum of 10 people who can be given a second initiation. We can recommend. That is the output. And out of these 25 people, again, minimum 20 of them are from these dormitories. So this outreach program in dormitories has been very, very effective for us in Singapore. Another direct outreach program we are having is Vaishnav Mahasammelan, where we invite devotees from all the 30 Namahattas, 25 to 30 Namahattas. All devotees will come and congregate in a public park, such as Japanese garden or Chinese garden. We have public parks there. At least 2,500 to 3,000 devotees congregate there, and we have like a cultural night, and they invite their friends, and there also we get a lot of new entrants into our programs. At the same time, it serves two purposes. One is as outreach, and another one is strengthening the bonds among the older devotees. Like Srila Prabhupada said, a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. We take a lot of care of people who are with us for many years. In our pursuit to go and find new blood, we don't neglect the existing people. So the weightage we give is existing devotees 1 equal to 2 new entrants into the program outreach. That balance we maintain. One thing I want to mention is devotees are so inspired. All the services on all the programs are done only by devotees. We never hire for any of the services outside people. Such as Durga Puja Day, 5,000 plates of prasadam for 4 days, 20,000 plates of prasadam, which is a full meal. It is not just 1 or 2 items: rice, dal, sabji, sweet, pakodas, and a drink like this we serve. And whoever is cooking are our devotees. Even pot washing to cutting vegetables also we don't hire outside people. Done by devotees who are chanting a minimum of 4 malas or even 2 malas depending on the situation. Also, the prasadam that we are cooking and other services such as the stadium Rath Yatra I was mentioning you, the chariot, the entire chariot was designed and fabricated by devotees. For example, the stainless steel grade what we brought, the materials, the donors also we took care, we wanted to inspire. The donations for the Rath Yatra came only from devotees. This is just to enhance and give importance for the existing devotees, that they are recognized, that they have a specific seva. We didn't take from the new devotees, especially for the chariot making. We took for other services. The chariot was made by devotees. The donors, also devotees who are chanting only, we took care that we took money from who are chanting. The painters, the welders, the fitters, all are devotees chanting 16 malas. The Ratha was made. The canopy, the tailor who made the canopy, he stitched the canopy in the stadium. He is also a devotee chanting 16 malas. All the programs, wherever we have prasadam distribution, everything from pot washing, cutting vegetables, and serving prasadam, cooking prasadam, everything is done by devotees. We take a lot of care that only it should be done by devotees. This one we wanted to mention. People are interested in doing the services actually more than cash donations. People are so much satisfied with the kind donations. That's why we encourage them on kind donations. And more than kind donations, we have seen that devotees are so happy doing direct services. Sometimes we think, initially we were also thinking we don't find anybody to do service and only few of us were struggling. But seeing us doing the services, the other people got inspired to do the services, and whatever principles we put in place from the beginning as the yatra is going, that is maintained in Singapore, that all services are done by devotees. In fact, it has come to a stage that any new person wants to do some service, chant 1 mala and come inside. This we are insisting. If you chant 1 mala, then you can do the services. At least 1 mala you chant.
So thank you very much, Prabhuji. You have spent such a valuable time of yours with us, and our viewers will be definitely inspired by your very special outreach programs, which are not really common, like dormitory preaching and Durga Puja. That was really unique. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.